Hey guys, Jennifer here with the Family Fudge, and welcome back to Bunches of Lunches. This week we are celebrating New Year's, and the kids are on winter break. So all of these lunches are going to be home lunches, but they're still going to be super fun and creative. I have some interesting ideas I hope my kids will like, and some different ways of serving the food that I think they're going to love. Now go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up if you love fun lunches, and don't forget to hit that red subscribe button if you're new, because next week I'm super excited to be getting back into making actual school lunch ideas, which you guys probably already know are my favorite. And now let's get on to the lunches. Hey guys, and welcome to Monday. For today's lunch, instead of using regular plates or lunch trays, I thought it would be really fun to use this extra large muffin pan instead. And when I say extra large, I mean it, because you guys, this pan has actually 24 little sections, whereas a normal baking pan would only have 12. So what I'm going to do is to fill up this pan with all of the food for all of my kids' lunches. That's right, all 4 kids. Then I'll set the entire pan on the table and they can share it. So now I went ahead and removed the label. I also washed and dried this pan. And now before I add any food, I'm going to add some of these silicone liners into each little section. So the theme for this lunch is going to be what I like to call the snacky lunch. A snacky lunch is normally a lot of different things. There's usually not a lot of cooking involved. So the first thing I'm going to be adding in are some hard-boiled eggs. Now I actually prepared these yesterday. After I hard-boiled each egg, I went ahead and removed the peel, and then I stuck them into these star-shaped molds. Now I haven't used these egg molds in quite a while. They come in lots of different shapes, and they're available on Amazon. But honestly, sometimes these turn out well and sometimes they don't. I think a lot of it has to do with the actual size of your egg. If you use an egg that's too small or too big, they don't turn out the best. So for today's lunch, I'm just going to be adding in 2 hard-boiled eggs, and I'm going to go ahead and cut those in half because I know not all 4 of my kids enjoy hard-boiled eggs. I think 2 will be just enough. Now I know I mentioned that with a snacky lunch there's not a lot of cooking involved, but I do really want to create some mini croissants for this lunch. So I'm going to go ahead and use this store-bought crescent dough, but you guys check it out. This is actually sweet Hawaiian bread dough, so I'm guessing it's going to taste a lot like Hawaiian bread. I'm not quite sure. I don't think we've ever tried this crescent dough before, so it should be interesting to give it a try. So now to create these mini croissants, I'm going to go ahead and open up this tube just like normal. Then I'm going to spread out the dough. Now as you can see, this already comes in 8 different triangles to make 8 regular size croissants. So I'm going to start by actually cutting along the perforated lines that come with the dough, but I'm not going to stop there. Next, I'm going to go ahead and cut each of these triangles down the center. I'm going to try to keep these as symmetrical as possible, and when I'm done, I'm left with 16 little triangles instead of just 8. So now to create these mini croissants, I'm just going to take one triangle at a time, and starting at the larger end, I'm going to roll it up all the way like this. And then I really love a curved croissant, so I'm just going to curve this around like this and then place it onto my baking sheet. Now this next part is definitely optional, but I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of an egg wash onto the top of each of my mini croissants. And this is really going to help each of them have a beautiful golden brown exterior. So now I'm going to pop these into my oven at 350 for just about 8 to 10 minutes, but I'm really going to keep my eye on these because I do not want them to burn. So now while those are in the oven, I'm also going to prepare some kiwi. Now I know that kiwi can sometimes be hit or miss with my kids. It really just depends on how sour they are, so I'm hoping that the kids will like these ones. And then for the vegetable, I'm just going to take a handful of baby carrots and I'm going to cut each one in half using my crinkle cutter. Now check it out, you guys. My mini croissants are out of the oven and they've had enough time to cool down. I think they look super cute. And that means it's time to put this lunch together. So in the pink section, I'm going to go ahead and add half of the hard-boiled egg. And I do want to go ahead and sprinkle just a little bit of salt on top, just to season them up. In the next section, I'm going to add some cubes of cheese. This is just a Colby Jack cheese. I'm going to add about 5 of these cubes into each little section. Then I'm also going to be adding in a food pick into each little section as well. Next, I'm going to add in the little croissants. just one per section. Since there are many, they fit perfectly. And I am making sure to add at least 4 of everything since I have 4 kids and they are going to be sharing this after all. Next, I'm adding in the kiwi, followed by the carrots. I'm going to try to arrange these in a cute pattern. And then last but not least, for the sweet treat today, I'm going to add some of these animal cookies. These are the ones with the pink and the white coating on the outside with sprinkles. These are definitely a fun once in a while treat. I'm just going to add a couple of these per section. And then for today's lunch and all of the lunches this week, the kids are just going to be drinking water. So now I'm going to set the kids up at the table so they can share this snacky lunch. And then afterwards, they're going to let us know whether they liked it or not. Okay guys, what do you think? What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was the cookies and the mini croissants.
Yeah, those were so cute, huh?
My favorite part was the hard-boiled egg.
I knew it. She's pretty much the only one who likes them. Well, Griffin does too.
I like the cookies and the croissants. See you tomorrow.
Hey guys, and happy Tuesday! Today I'm going with a Taco Tuesday theme. And you guys, today is actually New Year's Eve. So for today's lunch, I'm going to start by cooking up some ground turkey. Now if you wanted to, you definitely could use beef instead, but most of the time I end up cooking turkey. And as I'm browning this up, I'm also breaking it up into little pieces. So now that this turkey is almost completely cooked, I'm going to go ahead and add in some taco seasoning. I usually just buy the big container of taco seasoning from Costco, and it's still nice and mild, so it's definitely kid friendly as well. To this, I'm just going to add a little bit of water, and then I'm going to mix it all together and cook it until it's no longer pink. So now that our turkey taco filling is done, I'm going to go ahead and set it aside because I need it to cool down completely before I start on my next step. Today I'm going to be putting together the Pillsbury Taco Crescent Ring. Now you guys, this is a classic party food, so it's perfect for New Year's Eve day. And believe it or not, I've never actually made this recipe before. I'm going to do my best to follow the actual recipe. I'm probably just going to make a few changes, like using turkey instead of ground beef. And you guys, if you're interested in this recipe, I'll go ahead and link it down below so you can check it out. So now to put this guy together, I'm going to start by adding a little bit of nonstick cooking spray. And you guys, I'm actually using the biggest cookie sheet that I have because it looks like this guy is going to take up a lot of space. So now that that is done, it's time to open up the crescent dough. You're going to need 2 tubes for this. And check it out, you guys, the recipe for the taco ring is actually on the back of this package. So that's an interesting coincidence. Now you guys will have to let me know in the comments down below if you've ever made this recipe. I know that a lot of you probably already have, or you've made something similar. I know that there is a breakfast version of this. There's also a buffalo chicken version. Let me know if you've ever made them before. So now I'm gonna open up the first tube of dough. And of course, this is the kind of dough that comes in 8 triangles. So I'm just gonna start by placing the triangles in a circle. And as you can see, I'm overlapping each corner just a bit. I'm going to keep doing this with the first can of dough, and I'm going to finish it off with the second can of dough until I've gone all the way around like this. Your dough should kind of be looking like a sun. And I'm going to go ahead and press down a little bit on the center just like this because that's where the taco filling is going to go. Next, I'm going to spoon the cooled turkey taco mixture all around the center of the ring just like this. And then here's where my recipe is a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of this salsa right on top of the meat. This is a very mild salsa, so it's still really kid friendly. And I'm really just adding a tiny bit all the way around. Then I'm going to top everything off with a good amount of shredded cheddar cheese. Of course, you could also use taco blend cheese. That would be super tasty. So now to close up the taco ring, I'm just going to take each little dough triangle and I'm going to bring it up and over the filling, and I'm going to do my best to tuck it underneath the bottom layer of dough to secure it. Now I'm just going to repeat this all the way around the ring until the entire filling is enclosed. And don't worry you guys, some of the filling will show a little bit, but that's totally what you want here. Now again, this next part is optional. The original recipe does not call for this. But since I want the outside of the dough to be nice and golden brown, I'm going to go ahead and mix up a little bit of an egg wash that I can brush directly on top. Now I'm going to stick this into the oven. It's going to take about 20 to 25 minutes to cook all the way through. And then I do want to go ahead and let it cool down for about 5 minutes before I cut into it. So now while that's in the oven, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the rest of the lunch. So I know I want to add in some cucumber for today, but instead of just slicing it up like I normally do, I thought it would be really fun to create some cucumber spirals. These always look super cool, but they're actually really easy to make. If you have this little tool, I got this on Amazon, and when you twist it down inside the cucumber, you're left with this really cool looking spiral. Now I'm actually going to be saving the outside of the cucumber for a snack for it later, and then with the cucumber spiral, you can actually keep it together as a big spiral, or you can actually very gently pull the spiral apart to have two smaller ones instead. So now I'm going to repeat this process with the rest of my cucumber until I have enough. Okay guys, so now our taco ring is out of the oven and it's had just enough time to cool down, so I can go ahead and finish it off. Now since this is definitely a shareable party food, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bowl of salsa directly in the center of the ring. Then I'm going to fill up the rest of the ring with a very simple salad. So this is just a little bit of really fresh and crisp iceberg lettuce. I went ahead and shredded it very finely. Then I'm going to top this with a little bit of cheese, a few pieces of olive, and just a couple little pieces of tomato. I know not all of my kids enjoy tomatoes, so I'm just adding a few. And then just for fun, I'm going to go ahead and add some of these cute little taco picks right into the side. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this definitely looks like a fun party food, perfect for New Year's Eve day. This would definitely be a good thing to bring to a potluck or to a party. You can just cut it into little wedges and people can grab a piece, dip it in the salsa, and it is super tasty. But for my kids today, I'm going to go ahead and make up some trays for them. So now I've added one piece of the turkey taco ring. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of the salad from the center of the ring, followed by just a little bit of Spanish rice. This is just some store-bought, pre-made Spanish rice, so it was super easy. For the fruit today, I'm adding just a little bit of diced mango. In this other section, I'm adding the cucumber curls. And then last but not least, I'm going to finish off today's lunch with a little container of yogurt. But this is a flavor we haven't tried before. It looks really interesting. This is actually a guava flavored yogurt. It looks really interesting. I'm hoping my kids will enjoy it. All right, let's find out what the kids thought. Did you guys like the taco bake?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It looks like everybody liked it except for you, huh?
I'm not a fan.
I noticed that you guys didn't really like the yogurt either.
I mean, it wasn't that good, but it still was pretty good. How did that work? How is it not pretty good and it's not pretty bad?
Okay.
It wasn't that good, but it was pretty good.
Kenzie, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part was the rice. My favorite part was the mango. My favorite part was probably the taco ring and the rice.
And the rice.
How dare you! See you tomorrow.
Hey guys, and welcome to Wednesday, and welcome to the first day of 2020. I hope you guys had an awesome New Year's Eve. Now I have to say that we experienced a huge difference between New Year's Eve in California, where fireworks are illegal, versus here in Florida where they are very legal. And so basically that means we were kept up until like 2 a.m. by all of our neighbors shooting off fireworks. It was fun, but it was also kind of noisy. So since we were all up super late last night, we've had a very slow morning today, which means for today's lunch, I'm actually going to be making brunch instead. And as you can see, I'm bringing back the muffin tray. I'm going to fill it with enough foods for all of the kids to share. And before I add any food, I am going to go ahead and line each little section with a silicone liner. So now the first thing I'm going to be making for our brunch today are pancakes. pancakes. To keep this super quick and easy, I'm just using some of our favorite pancake mix. This one's made with whole grains and there's a lot of protein in these ones as well. And because I want them to fit inside the muffin cups, I did go ahead and make these into mini pancakes. That way they will definitely fit a lot better, and personally I think that these mini sized pancakes are really cute. So now I'm not actually going to be serving any syrup with these pancakes. Instead, I'm going to add just a little bit of the kids' favorite strawberry jam. I get this kind at Costco, so it lasts us a long time. And I really like this strawberry jam because it doesn't have seeds in it. So I'm just adding a little bit of this jam onto the pancakes, then I'm adding a pancake on top, and then I'm actually going to repeat this process one more time to make a triple decker pancake bite. And now to go along with our pancakes, I'm also going to prepare some of this turkey sausage. This is actually fully cooked already, so I really just have to heat it up. It's super quick and easy. So now you can see our little triple decker pancake stack. I did go ahead and add a food pick in there just to keep them together. And I'm going to add one little stack into each section. That way there's one for each child. Next, I'm going to be adding in that turkey sausage. And this really is just one sausage. I went ahead and cut them in half. Then I added a food pick in there as well. Next, I'm going to be adding in some slices of apple. And I decided to go with a combination of both Fuji apple and Granny Smith apple. And then for the vegetable, I'm keeping it super simple. I'm just adding in some pieces of celery. And I did go ahead and cut these pretty thin. That way they would fit in the sections easier. Okay guys, now so far, so good. I think this tray is looking awesome. But I think it will be really fun to also include some dipping sauces. So in these first two sections, I'm gonna go ahead and add a tablespoon or so of some almond butter. My kids love dipping their apple slices in almond butter. It really is a very tasty combination, but I'm not gonna need a lot of this. So just a little bit into two of these sections is going to be enough. And then I'm gonna fill the other two sections with some of our favorite Greek yogurt ranch dressing. This is gonna be for the celery to be dipped in. I suppose you could also dip your apples in ranch dressing, but I wouldn't recommend it. And then last but not least, I'm gonna finish off our brunch tray with some Scooby snacks. Now you guys, these are actually a cinnamon flavored graham cracker. I like these because they're not too sweet, and of course they come in these really fun shapes as well. And there you have it guys. I'm gonna go ahead and let the kids dig in, and then afterwards they'll let us know what they think. Okay, Kenzie, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part was the sausage.
And Lily?
My favorite part was the graham crackers and the sausage.
And Jackson?
My favorite part was the sausage.
Do you give this lunch a thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs to the side. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Hey guys, and happy Thursday. Now, as you might be able to tell from these napkins, today I'm going with a pizza theme. I am going to be using our lunch trays instead of the muffin pan today. I think pizza will fit better on these. And to make this pizza quick and easy, I'm going to be using some store-bought pre-made pizza dough. But of course, if you wanted to, you could make your own pizza dough. Or you could even use the Pillsbury pizza dough that comes in the tube as well. And you guys, the reason I'm using pizza dough instead of a pre-made pizza crust is because I'm actually going to be folding this pizza dough into a pizza braid. Now, I know that might sound weird, but stay with me and I'll show you exactly what I mean. To make this pizza braid, I'm going to start by adding a little bit of flour to my cutting board. I definitely want to make sure that this dough does not stick. So I'm going to go ahead and spread that out. Next, I'm going to take that pre-made pizza dough. It's actually pretty sticky coming right out of the package, so this flour is definitely going to help. I'm going to add some of that flour on there. And now, using my rolling pin, I'm going to try to create a long rectangle shape, about the same size as the cutting board itself. And now, you don't have to do this next part, but to make the pizza braid look really nice and clean, I'm gonna go ahead and trim off just a little bit of the pizza dough around the edges, just so I have kind of a nice clean edge all the way around. So now before I go on to my next step, I need to transfer this dough onto my baking pan. I want to do it at this point because it's going to be really hard to do it later. So I just flipped it upside down onto a piece of parchment paper. And don't worry if it comes out a little bit wrinkled, go ahead and just stretch it back out as best you can. So now basically I'm going to be dividing this dough into 3 different sections. I'm just using a small cutting board to kind of gently press and outline into my dough. I'm not actually pushing this all the way through the dough. I'm just leaving a line so I know where I need to cut. Now to cut the dough, you definitely could use a pizza cutter, but for this job, I really prefer kitchen scissors. I think they make this next part a lot easier. I'm going to take the scissors and I'm going to try my best to cut the dough into 4 equal pieces. And I'm only cutting inwards until I get to that little line that I made with the cutting board. I'm not going past that line. I don't want to cut too far into the center. And then as you can see, I'm taking the 4 pieces and I'm cutting those directly in the center to create 8 pieces. Now that I have this done on one side, I'm going to repeat this process on the other, and then I'm left with something that looks like this. At this point, I think it kind of looks like a skeleton. So now it's time to turn this into a pizza. First, I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of pizza sauce directly in the center. I'm being careful not to add too much sauce because if I do, I know it's just going to kind of ooze out as this is baking. Next, I'm adding some shredded mozzarella cheese, and as you can see, I'm really mounding this cheese up. You do not want to skimp on the cheese at this point. Next, I'm adding several slices of turkey pepperoni. Then I'm going to top it all off with another light sprinkling of cheese. That cheese on top is going to melt, and it's gonna kind of act like the glue inside. Okay guys, now here comes the braiding part. And if you've never made this before, you might want to watch this part more than once. The first thing I'm going to do is take these top 2 pieces and I'm actually gonna fold them downwards, just like this. Then I'm gonna take this little piece here at the end and fold that over as well. This is gonna help seal the end of the pizza braid so the ingredients don't just fall out. And now comes the fun part. I'm gonna start on this side. I'm gonna slightly stretch the dough over to the other side, and I'm just gonna press it down gently right here. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Cross it over, press it down, then cross over the other side and press it down. And I'm going to repeat this process until I'm almost at the end. Not all the way at the end, almost at the end, because at this point I need to stop and take these other 2 end pieces and fold them down. Just like I did on the other end, I'm also gonna fold over this little piece of dough here, just like that. Then I'm going to finish crisscrossing my last few pieces of dough, just like this. And with the very last piece of dough, I'm gonna stretch that a little bit further. That way I can tuck it underneath to help seal it together. And there you have it guys, a super simple pizza braid. Now you definitely could stick it in the oven just as is, but what I really like to do is brush a little bit of olive oil right over the top. This is going to help it get nice and brown on the outside, and it's also going to help some additional toppings to stick to the dough. And speaking of additional toppings, I'm gonna go ahead and first add just a couple pinches of Italian seasoning. Then I'm also gonna sprinkle just a little bit of Parmesan cheese. This is gonna get nice and crispy and browned on the top. So now I'm gonna pop this into the oven at 350 for about 30 to 45 minutes. This one does take a little bit longer, but you guys, it is totally worth it. So while that's in the oven, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare the rest of the lunch. First, I'm gonna go ahead and make some orange smiles. My kids love these, and I have quite a lot of oranges that I'm trying to use up. So to make the perfect orange smiles, I always start by cutting off a little bit of each end of my orange, and I'm using navel oranges. They're nice and sweet, and they don't have any seeds. Next, I cut the entire orange in half. Then I cut each half into 4 little sections. Then the very last thing I like to do is cut a little bit of the edge off of each little section. That part tends to be a little tough. It can also be bitter, so the kids aren't really big fans of this part. Plus, cutting it off makes eating the orange smile a lot easier. And that's how I make an army of orange smiles. Okay guys, so now our pizza is out of the oven, and it's had just enough time to cool down so I can cut into it. I'm gonna go ahead and place it onto a cutting board, and then I can slice it up. So now that I have everything prepared, it's time to put the trays together. First, I'm gonna add a little side salad. This is just a little bit of romaine lettuce with some cucumbers and some carrots. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of ranch dressing on this side. That way the kids can add it to their own salad when they're ready. Next, I'm adding 1 piece of the pizza braid. In this back section, I'm adding the orange slices, For the vegetable, I'm adding just a few pieces of celery. And then for the special treat today, something super special. I'm gonna give the kids each a little container of Italian ice. Now you guys, this is actually a frozen treat. And if you've never had Italian ice before, it is super tasty. These come in a lot of different flavors like lemon and watermelon. But for today's lunch, I went ahead and just got the fruit punch flavor. So if you've ever had like a frozen lemonade cup, it's kind of like that. And there you have it, guys. There's everything in today's lunch. Okay, guys. First up is Mackenzie. So what'd you think?
I really liked it.
What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was the pizza braid.
And Jackson, you did pretty good on your vegetables. Not too bad. What was your favorite part?
Probably the Italian ice and the pizza thing.
Yeah, just be careful with that Italian ice. It does kind of get messy. Okay, Lily, it's your turn. What'd you think?
It was good. I liked the salad and the ice.
The salad and the ice. Good job today, guys. Okay, Griffin, what'd you think?
I liked it and my one did like yo.
Yeah, you liked your pizza?
And my one.
And your ice. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You gonna share that with me?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Good job.
See you tomorrow.
Hey guys, and happy Friday! So for today's lunch, I'm bringing back the muffin tray, and I'm going to be adding in a lot of Asian-inspired foods for today's lunch as well. So for this lunch, I'm going to start by preparing some of these mini vegetable egg rolls. Now, of course, these are already pre-made. I just have to heat them up. The kids have actually never tried these before, so I'm crossing my fingers that they will like them. Now, because I want these to be nice and crispy, I'm going to go ahead and add them to my air fryer. You guys will have to let me know in the comments down below if you have an air fryer at your house. And because I'm not sure my kids are going to like these, I'm just going to go ahead and make 4 of them. And then to go along with them, I'm also going to be adding in 4 little pot stickers. These are just chicken pot stickers. I already know my kids love these, and I know that making pot stickers in an air fryer is definitely not the traditional way to make these, but you guys, it's super quick and easy, and I don't have to dirty up another pan. I'm just gonna cook these both together. So now those are only gonna take about 5 minutes in the air fryer, and while those are cooking, I'm gonna move on to the rest of the lunch. First, I'm gonna go ahead and cut up some cucumber. I'm just using my crinkle cutter for this, because it's quick and easy but still makes the vegetables look really fun. And then I'm going to do the same thing with a couple of carrots. So we're doubling up on the veggies for today. For our fruit today, I'm going to be including some fresh pineapple. I have a really special pineapple treat that I'm going to be adding into today's lunch, so I thought some actual pineapple would go really well along with it. And to cut this pineapple, I'm going to go ahead and just remove the top and the bottom. Then I'm gonna go ahead and use my little pineapple spiral cutter to easily cut out the center of the pineapple. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I am super excited anytime I get to try a new kitchen gadget. So if you have a favorite kitchen gadget, let me know in the comments down below what it is so I can definitely check it out. So now that I have the pineapple into rings, I'm gonna go ahead and cut these rings into quarters just so that they fit better in the little muffin cups. And now that our egg rolls and pot stickers are ready, I can go ahead and put together our lunch tray. In this first section here, I'm just gonna add 1 mini spring roll. And in the row next to them, I'm going to be adding in the pot stickers. Now, these spring rolls actually came with a sweet and sour dipping sauce. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that sauce into just 2 of these little sections. I definitely think 2 little sections of dipping sauce will be enough. And in the other 2 sections, I'm gonna go ahead and pour just a little bit of ranch sauce. Last time I gave the kids way too much, so this time I'm just adding a little bit. And don't worry you guys, this ranch sauce is not to go with the pot stickers, it's to go with the cucumber and the carrots that I cut up earlier. So I'm just gonna go ahead and place those right in here. Next, I'm adding in the pineapple. And you guys, anytime I include pineapple, I love to use these little pineapple picks. They are so cute and fun, and I actually find these at Hobby Lobby. And now you guys, last but not least, those very special pineapple treats I was telling you about. Now believe it or not, I actually found these little pineapple cakes at Costco. And the box says that they are a New Year's treat from Taiwan, so they look really interesting. We've never tried these before, but they look super fancy. I'm gonna go ahead and open this one up so you guys can see what they're like. They come in this little square container. The outside is kind of like a shortbread cookie consistency, but then in the middle, there is a soft pineapple flavored filling. So I went ahead and tried this one. I think they are super good. I'm gonna go ahead and add just one per child so they can try one if they'd like to. And then of course, after lunch, they'll let us know whether they liked them or not. Okay guys, what'd you think? What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was the vegetable spring roll.
I see that 2 kids liked the egg rolls and 2 of them did not. What'd you think, Lily? What was your favorite?
Pineapple. My favorite was probably the dumplings.
The dumplings? What'd you guys think of the pineapple cake? I thought it was super good.
It tasted weird.
You didn't like it?
It kind of tasted a bit dry.
Dry? What about you?
I don't really like it.
Well, I thought it was good.
We'll see you next week. Happy New Year!
And you guys, don't forget to come back for tomorrow's video where I'm going to be sharing lots of lunch ideas that are perfect for picky eaters. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.